It's once again time to dive right into the future. Welcome back to Cocky Gachas, and in this video, we have infiltrated Taiwan server once again, and due to popular demand, we are going to once again cover the quote-unquote upcoming Wishing Star Gachas. And the reason why I say quote-unquote is because, as you guys know, in my previous video, I covered 4 of those sets. 3 of those sets came, however, the Chestnut set is MIA, and also one of those sets got shifted to Scam City. So honestly, it's not a 100% accuracy on whether this is going to come to global server, but at least there is some certainty that these sets are going to appear quite soon in the future, whether it is in the Wishing Star Gacha or in other formats. So with that in mind, I'm going to first touch on this Fox set, and I know that people also want to see the appearance for the female set, so I will try to find online whether there are any female sets and then post the screenshot over here for those that are interested. The first one that we're going to touch on is going to be the Fox Ears. So overall, I would say that the Fox Ears, right, is one of the highlights for this set because it does have the global CD minus 2%, and also there is an additional stat whereby if you were to refine it to plus 10, it is going to give you additional global CD 1%. So total 3% global CD, 2.5% magic attack, and the physical attack, and also strength plus intel. So this is a decent one for mages. The next one we are going to go to is going to be the mouth. So what it does is that it gives physical defense plus 16, it gives dex plus 5. So actually quite insane, dex plus 5. And VCT minus 2%, like I mentioned, VCT is useless, honestly. And then healing received plus 4%, and also damage reductions against large enemies is going to be for 2%, extra 2%. So this is somewhat okay. I do think that the dex is one of the main points that if you want to get this set. So next one, we are going to move to the bag itself. The bag is going to be this like flying, like this triple foxes. I think the main highlight for this one is going to be more on the appearance than it is on the actual effect. Regardless, it does have physical defense plus 16, magical defense plus 10, then there is a vitality plus 5, luck plus 5, magic attack plus 2%, physical attack plus 2%. And additionally, when using skills, you are going to increase your movement speed by 4%, your attack speed by 4%, and then also your global CD would minus 4%, and your casting time, fixed casting time is going to minus 4%, and it's going to last for 5 seconds, cooldown 12 seconds. So it's a bit worse than 50% uptime. It seems to me that this is more for an auto attacking class such as ADL hunters, because you have the attack speed and also the movement speed can come in clutch. The GCD is going to be helpful for the mages, however it's more towards Magic Crusher. I think that Magic Crusher build can fully utilize this stat point. However, once again, this is not a 100% uptime. This is a bit less than 50% uptime, so I don't think it's going to be the most significant buff at all. Next is going to be the costume. So costume over here, so this is like an Exorcist kind of a costume. So over here you have the physical attack plus 3%, magical attack plus 3%, and increased damage to shadow enemies by 4%, damage reduction against shadow enemies by 4%, and then there is a demon increment by 4%, and also a demon damage reduction by 4%. So demon and shadow is the targeted stats over here, all stats plus 2. And also when you are using skills, there is a 5% chance that you are going to increase your physical and magical attack by 2%. It's going to last for 5 seconds, and there is no cooldown. So this one is really strong if you think about it, especially I think for ADL hunters as well as for the Magic Crusher build. This is going to be good because you are going to have a higher attack speed, which means you are going to trigger it and potentially have 0 cooldown. So if you are able to maintain 100% uptime, this is going to be excellent. Otherwise, for normal mages, I don't think this is going to be the most useful. For ADL hunters, you might wonder why I say that you can also use this, because the skill blitz beat and all the kind of auto triggering skills also count into this. So 100% uptime is going to be feasible compared to a normal mage build. So this is going to be the Fox set. Moving on, the next set that we have is this very confused set. I don't know what the hell this is. This is supposed to be an angry bear set. So some people might think that this is pretty cute. I guess the costume is sort of fine. Yeah, I don't really like this set, to be honest. Let's start with the head first. Physical defense plus 16, strength plus 5, bit plus 5, HP recovery plus 4%, max SP plus 3%. When you receive damage, 5% chance the HP potion effectiveness would increase by 30%. It lasts for 20 seconds, cooldown is 25 seconds. So meaning this has a very high volume of uptime. However, it is a HP potion recovery stat. I'm not sure how effective this is, and 5% chance. This is more like a defensive set. Honestly, not a fan of it. I'm not sure why this set exists. Next, we are going to go to the next one. It's apparently a Scar. This is the Scar item over here. Physical defense plus 16, magic damage as well as physical damage plus 1.5%, strength plus 5, intel plus 5, dex plus 5, damage reduction against demon race plus 5%. When this item is plus 10, the magic as well as the physical damage is going to increase by another 1%. So total 2.5%. I think that this is quite underwhelming, although for a phase where it might be decent. However, we have other items that also have like increment to different races that are more relevant, right? Although you might argue that 2.5% if you're at plus 10, it is somewhat good compared to the rest. However, once again, magic damage and physical damage, right? Other than the fact that Sacrifice Paladin can take it, the rest of the classes would probably prefer physical attack and magical attack. It gives better stats overall and better damage overall. So yeah, this is quite underwhelming once again. Next is going to be the hammer. So the hammer over here, this is an angry hammer. Physical defense plus 16, magical defense plus 10, wit plus 5, attack speed plus 3%, weight limit plus 500, and freeze resistance plus 15. So I would think that this is once again a very defensive set. Although there is a attack speed and there is a wit plus 5, this is used more for Sacrifice Paladin. However, I think that there are better alternatives out there, especially when it comes to another set that I'm going to touch on later. You're going to see that that set is going to be a lot better compared to this for Sacrifice Paladin for a backwear. Next, on to the costume, we have the physical attack and magical attack plus 3%, crit resistance plus 5, magic damage reduction plus 2%, fire elemental resistance plus 2%, mainly against like Meteor Storm, I guess. When you use damaging skills, there is a 20% chance that the skill that you use, the damage will increase by 10%. It doesn't have a cooldown. So I would think that for someone that uses skills very often, having a 10% like increment to the damage is going to be decent. Overall, quite a confused set, right? So offensive and defensive mixed in one. However, if you consider the rest of the pieces, I think this is the best one out of all of them. Moving on, we are going to look at the Traveler Adventurer. I'm not sure what kind of set this is, but it looks decent. The back seems a bit out of place with the rest of the set, but regardless, it is what it is. We are first going to look at the head first. The head gives you physical and magical defense plus 16, luck plus 5, dex plus 5, physical attack plus 3%. When you are attacking, there is a 5% chance to trigger this range damage plus 3%, and then it lasts for 2 seconds. There is no cooldown. So this is a very obvious thing, right? Luck, dex, and then also auto attacking as well as physical attack. There's no magical attack components. This is obviously for our ADR hunters, and I think that it's a bit sneaky. I feel that this whole set is for ADR hunters, but this was the time when in Taiwan server ADR hunters were strong, but then right after this moment, right, ADR hunters went down the drain. So they first baited everyone to buy this kind of sets to think that ADR hunters are going to be the meta, but right after that ADR hunters went to dog shit status, right? So honestly, quite a bit trappy from their antics. I can tell that this is just normal business days. Anyways, let's move on next to the glasses. So this is the glasses over here. Physical defense plus 16, strength plus 4, intel plus 4, the dex plus 4, and then also when you deal damage to undead enemies, it's going to plus 5%, and then the damage that you receive, damage reductions from undead enemy, is going to plus 8%. So this one, honestly, nothing too special, nothing to really talk about here. It's just one of the fillers. Usually in the set, there wouldn't all be good, so this is one of the bad items in this set compared to the rest of the ones. Next, we are going to move on to the bag. The bag over here is this little doll over here. Honestly, this doll is extremely strong. What it does is that physical defense plus 16, ignore defense plus 4%, critical damage plus 2%, movement speed plus 2%, attack speed plus 2%. And when you have plus 12, it is going to give you additionally physical damage plus 3%. So physical damage plus 3% at plus 12. This one is extremely strong for those that are able to plus 12. Of course, for the free-to-play or light spenders, that is not going to be you. So regardless, still without the physical defense plus 3%, this is still decent for ADR hunters and also for sacrifice paladins. I think that this is also going to be quite useful because honestly, from the back standpoint, right, so far in our global, we don't have anything that really gives that much HP except for just giving Vit. So I think that this is going to surpass Vit plus 5 stats for sacrifice paladin, but especially for ADR hunters, this is going to be super good because of the ignore defense as well, right? For the normal attacks that doesn't have the ignore defense component. Next, we are going to have the costume over here. So what the costume does is that physical and magical attack is going to increase by 3%, crit plus 3, and then the crit damage plus 2%, physical damage reduction plus 2%, and all stats plus 2. So this one, once again, mainly for ADR hunters. You can see that 3 out of 4 items are pretty good for ADR hunters. So this whole set, ADR hunters focus. For the crit itself, people might ask me, hey, sacrifice paladin, is this good for it? I think that it is decent, but HP percentage as well as physical damage increment is going to be much more valuable. So this is not the first choice for paladins, but if you were to happen to get it and you don't have something better with HP percent and physical damage increment, I think that this is going to be good because of the crit plus 3 and then also the potentially the crit damage plus 2% and also the stats whereby you can add your Vit and then you can also add other stats as well. So this is going to be alright for sacrifice paladin, but mainly it is just for ADR hunters. Moving on, this is honestly my favorite set out of the 4 sets that I'm going to introduce today just based off the looks alone. Look at this set itself, right? Finally, a set that doesn't turn us into a little boy that is going to school, right? Everything is focused on female sets instead of giving us this male set. So I think that this is going to be really cool. This is a detective set, so to speak. So there is a gun, there is a pipe, and only thing I don't really like is the eyes, right? The monocle, I don't think this is going to be the best, but even the suit is quite nice. So this is really one of the best ones in my opinion, and there is no head for this set. So first we are going to touch on the eyes. Despite the looks, this is very strong. Physical defense plus 16, strength plus 4, intel plus 4, dex plus 4. Damage increase to demi-humans plus 4%. Damage reductions against demi-human plus 4%. For the plus 6 line, all skill damage plus 2%. And then for the plus 12 line, all skill damage plus 3%. Additional 5%. However, huge disclaimer here, when it was first released in Taiwan server, this 2 lines did not have any effect. It was discovered by the games, or should I say the game testers, which are the players, and they found out that this do not have any effect. So subsequently, they fixed it. I'm not sure how long. It took quite long for them to fix this. Regardless, what I want to warn you guys about all these stats and everything that I've said today, right? Potentially, it might not have any effect. If you don't test it, no one will know because the game doesn't have any game testers at all. So we are the game testers like I mentioned. So definitely take note over here. Next is going to be the pipe. So the pipe over here, this is going to give us physical defense plus 16, magical defense plus 10, strength plus 4, intel plus 4, dex plus 4, and damage reduction against demon enemies plus 5%. Honestly, this one, nothing too good to write home about, but it does give intel as well as dex. So for wizards, if you have this, maybe you can use it. But honestly, there's so many good ones, right? Especially if you have Doran pipe, I don't think this is going to be useful at all for you. So this is really just for the looks, but it's really looking quite good, and also looks a bit like this pipe here, which drops from Aegas. The longer one also looks better in my opinion compared to the shorter one. So really personal preference, but this is really good for looks. Now moving on, next we have the gun over here. What it does is that physical defense plus 16, magical defense plus 6, dex plus 5, G plus 2, and also range damage plus 6% and ignore defense plus 4%. So this is quite good for ADR hunters once again because of the 6% range damage. Most range classes are going to benefit from this. 6% is honestly quite a lot even for Soulbreaker, and also Soulbreaker doesn't completely ignore defense even with the passive, right? So this is going to be good, but of course ignore defense percentage is usually not the best since the formula always apply your ignore defense stats first, then apply the percentage. So the percentage is always going to be against the leftover. So just something to take note. But 6% damage for range is super strong. Soulbreaker, ADR hunters, whatever range class is going to benefit from this a lot, honestly, even without using their G stats. And then lastly, we're going to have the costume over here. So this is a very nice costume. Like I've mentioned, the cape is also looking very good. So here it does give Physical attack plus 3%, magical attack plus 3%, strength plus 4, intel plus 4. Against the dragon enemies plus 5% damage reduction from dragon enemies plus 5%. Water elemental skills damage plus 3%. This is very, very specific. When you cause damage, there is a 3% chance to automatically cast water ball level 5. Cooldown is 2 seconds. This looks to me like it is specifically for Magic Crusher build only, because the fact that you're going to cast water ball, of course for the rest of auto attack classes you're also going to benefit from it, but your damage is not going to be as high compared to mage with a lot of magic damage and magic attack. So this is really for them, and I'm not sure if it stacks with the head we have over here, the fish head, right? So I know that some Magic Crusher builds, they use this to cast a level 3 water ball, but this one has a lower cooldown at 0.5 seconds. So I'm not sure if they stack. You guys can test it for yourself if you wish to. Magic Crusher builds people. So this one is really just for them, I think. And also the dragon damage, we really don't have that much dragon enemies. I think in the future maybe there's going to be detail. I haven't seen it in Taiwan server yet, but if the dragon maps get released, maybe this is going to be more useful. And at the end of the video, just so happened, right, I see that the Taiwan server is actually rerunning this fairy set. And just for your information, this hit gear itself is best in slot for sacrifice paladins because of the stats. Let's just take a look at this. Physical damage and magic damage plus 3.5%, and also there is HP plus 5%. So this is incredibly crazy. Although sacrifice paladin cannot use this towards medium-sized enemies, it is still very, very strong. And there's a 5% when you attack the next 3 seconds. The first attack is going to increase damage by 20%. So this one sacrifice can also take in. So this is honestly best in slot, and just so happen I have 11 tickets from just claiming the mail. So I'm just going to try. Maybe you are going to get this just for fun, right? So go, let's see what we get. Is the Taiwan luck better than the global luck? Who knows? Maybe I'm going to see golden on the first one. No golden, okay, just shows that gravity, regardless of the servers, still do not treat me well. Last one, faster, we see. Bam, okay, nothing. Okay, so this one, best in slot. As to when this is going to release, not so soon. So maybe in the next video I'm going to touch on this. And that about does it for this video, where I touch on the potential quote-unquote upcoming Wishing Star gacha. Not sure if they are going to drop, not sure if the stats are going to be the same. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Also, if you guys are interested in seeing my opinion, if you guys haven't seen it yet, on the current state of the game, definitely check out this video over here. I'll see you guys over there. This is Cocky Gachas, signing off.